$1,400 fourth stimulus check specifically focused on Social Security, including retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, SSI, VA, RRB, low income, no income, seniors, older adults, and of course, people with disabilities with executive order. That's what we're going to focus on right here in the video, so let's get right into it. All right, now in this video, I do want to discuss the details of a highly focused fourth stimulus check in the amount of $1,400, specifically focused on those fixed income beneficiaries I mentioned at the beginning of the video, and can it actually be done through executive order? That's a great question and exactly what I want to talk about with you right here in this video. Let's get right into it. Really fast before we do, thanks so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe right down below the video. It's totally free to do so, and I'm here for you right by your side every single day to help you out in any way that I possibly can, as well as keeping you informed during this very busy, confusing, and uncertain time we're currently living through. Things are changing very rapidly, and again, I want to point out anything you can possibly grab and or take advantage of, including money, benefits, raises to benefits, checks, programs, stimulus, anything else like that. There's a lot of things that are going on right now, and again, I'm here for you as much as I can be. So again, please subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and let's get into it and talk about the details of a highly focused $1,400 fourth stimulus check. Can it really be done through executive order? And what are all the details that we need to know about this? Now, this is what I want to break down for you because I've seen this down below in the comment section. As of recently, I've talked a little bit about executive order and the parameters behind this, as in what they can use executive order for, what they cannot use executive order for, and can this actually be one of those things they could use an executive order to issue a highly focused check? Now, let me talk about this for just a second here. I've also seen down below in the comment section some people saying there's no way they would ever issue a highly focused check just for fixed income beneficiaries. Let me talk about that for a second, okay? There actually is an instance where they did do exactly that. If you'd like to look it up and fact check it, you're always welcome to do that. But here's what happened. Back in May of 2009. Now again, I know that was like what is that, 14 years ago? I know this happened a long time ago, but I want to use this as a reference point to show you that yes, in some instances, they do actually issue highly focused checks just for fixed income beneficiaries. Now remember what was happening back in 2007, 2008, and early 2009. We were in a major economic contraction. A lot of jobs were lost. It was a major recession that we were going through there during that time, right? So in May of 2009, yes, they did issue a highly focused check just for fixed income beneficiaries in the amount of $250. So yes, that did happen, 14 plus years ago, okay? So that is an instance where it did happen, and again, if you'd like to look it up, by all means, feel free to look it up, feel free to fact check that if you'd like to, but it is something that happened. Now again, during that same time, they also sent out $600 stimulus checks as well. Again, I know, that was 14 plus years ago, okay? I get it, but my point is, the facts are that you can clearly see that in some instances, they do send out highly focused checks. Now, let me talk you through the details again. I've seen this down below in the comment section. Some people here in the community reaching out asking, what can be done through executive order? Could they actually do something like this through executive order? This falls into the category of, yes, it could actually be done through executive order. However, when it comes down to reforming Social Security, no, that cannot be done through executive order. Not at all. That has to go through Congress. However, in the event of a stimulus check, yes, technically, they could do this through executive order. Now, would they do this, as in would being he, the president, would he be doing this through executive order? Now, here's the thing. Executive orders are one of these things that it's supposed to be used sparingly, right? It's like you can use it if you want to. It's available if you want to use it. But at the end of the day, don't get too carried away. You can use it at your discretion is essentially what it comes down to when it happens to be Social Security. And of course, all of these other, executive orders and, raises to benefits and all this stuff, whatever it happens to be executive order, it's always up to the discretion of the administration, the president at the end of the day. That's why you see a lot of times things that have the ability to be passed through executive order are often done through executive order when they have no chance of passing through Congress. We've seen this multiple times here over the last, 3 years or so? We've seen this multiple times, 3.5 years, I guess, technically. Is it that much? 3 years or so, yeah. So anyway, we've seen this multiple times here over the last several years where they've come out and they know that this thing, whatever it happens to be, will not have a chance in Congress to pass through. And then they say, well, why don't you just slap a signature on it, call it executive order, and boom, it's done. Doesn't even have to go through the congressional process of getting voted on and all kinds of stuff like that. So when it comes down to stimulus checks, if the president just so wanted to issue a highly focused fourth stimulus check in any dollar amount, essentially, then yes, this could be done through executive order, okay? Unlike changes to Social Security. That cannot be done through executive order. That must be done through the congressional process, if that makes sense, right? So now the thing is, like I said, executive orders are generally used sparingly. In other words, use it at your discretion. You can use it, but don't get carried away, okay? Generally, in most cases, best practices would assume that they would go through the congressional process to get it passed through the House, passed through the Senate, legislation written up, amendments made, Congress on board with it, passed that way. Traditionally, that's how they pass legislation, and then they send it to the president to get the final signature turning into law, or the big old rubber stamp that says veto right across across of it, right? So that is what we need to watch going forward. But I can say this much: even though the president has the ability to do this through executive order, does it mean it's going to come that way? I would say this much: generally, they're going to run it through Congress, okay? Generally, even though there's the ability to do that, there's the ability to do a lot of things. Just because he has the ability to do it through executive order does not necessarily mean it's going to happen that way, if that makes sense, right? So traditionally, I would say this much. In the event of another check going out, in the event of, $1,400 or $1,000 or $600, whatever it would happen to be, for any additional money going out in the form of stimulus for beneficiaries, fixed income beneficiaries, the American people of any kind, that would most likely, almost under all circumstances, be going through Congress, okay? And the details are, here's the thing. I've talked about this before in other videos. It's all coming down to the economy. In the situation that, that they figure that people need another check, which is, again, an interesting, caveat, because here's the thing. Some people definitely do not need checks, okay? We know that very clearly here. Basically, between 2020 and 2021, about a year and a half time, they printed $6 trillion, okay? Where did that money go? It went into the pockets of some people. Everybody? No, we know that very clearly, right? This did not make it into the pockets and into the bank accounts of everybody, but it certainly did make it into the pockets of some people. Do those people need checks? No, not everybody needs a check. Who needs a check? About 20% of the population or so, give or take. The people that are the lowest income, the fixed income beneficiaries, these are the individuals, which why I said at the beginning of this video, a highly focused check, because here's the thing. We've talked about this many times before over the last couple of years, which is, who needs a check right now? Everybody? No. Does 50% of the population need a check? No. Does 20% of the population need a check? Yes. That's what it would need, right? 20% of the population would only be about 65 to 70 million people in this country, okay? Again, how many people are receiving fixed income benefits? 70 million people. Do all fixed income beneficiaries need a check? Let's be fair again. No. Those individuals that are getting $3,000, $3,500, $4,000, $4,500, massive benefits like that, they probably don't need a check, right? Do the lower income beneficiaries need a check? Yep, certainly do, have needed a check for a very long time. In fact, ongoing monthly checks would be very, very beneficial at this time for a lot of people, right? So again, you can see what's going on here. Not everybody needs something. Not 85% of the population, like what they sent the last one out to. No way. Not that many people need it. Like I said, about 20% or about 65 to 70 million people is what needs it, okay? That's it, okay? And it happens to be a lot of people who are fixed income beneficiaries, seniors, older adults, people with disabilities, fixed income beneficiaries. The list goes on, and we know exactly who these individuals are. A lot of people right here in this community, right? Makes sense? So anyway, long story short, for those of you that have been asking down below in the comment section and the recent talk that I've had about talking about executive orders in other videos, I hope this explains a little bit further. Yes, the ability is there. Doesn't necessarily mean that that ability is going to be exercised, if you get what I'm saying, right? So just because something's there, just because something's available, doesn't mean that it's always going to be used, right? So anyway, Hope that helps you make sense and understand the situation a little bit further. I'm here for you. Again, leave your comments, your questions, your feedback down below. If you need me to elaborate on this further or any other topic, of course, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you need here. I'm here for you in any way that I possibly can, but there's a lot of weird stuff going on right now. Either way, of course, we'll continue watching everything between now and the end of the year of 2023. It's coming close, right? It's coming fast. Either way, I'll continue watching it closely and bring you the details as I get it. So please subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other thousands of videos here on the channel. Until next time, enjoy your day, take care, have a good one, and catch you again later in the next video.